Hey everyone, we've just finished a month-long program looking at what is actually real about who we are. And many questions came up in it about the three principles and the inside-out understanding and non-duality and how they all fit together. And so I thought it might be useful to record a little bit about where we got to with it. And I think it's interesting to look less at the labels because they mean such different things to everyone, and more about what is actually going on with our understanding. And probably many of you were like me, spending many years believing that who I am, how I seem to be is how I am, how they seem to be is who they are, what I think they're thinking is what they're thinking, how this circumstance is how it is. All of it apparently real, with no question in any of it. And we can spend an entire lifetime in that. And tremendous suffering in that, because it looks like in order for me, this real person, to be okay, all of these real objective things, circumstances, other people, events, money, security, houses, children, all the rest of it have to be managed and controlled and manipulated in order that I'm okay. Now, then along comes a teacher or a book or a class or a course that says, whoa, hold on, that is actually not what is going on. And maybe for many people here, this was the three principle understanding. And it's probably a bit like always remembering your first kiss. You remember that first means by which you suddenly got that realization, this is not how it all seems to be. There's something else going on here. And for me, that was the inside out revolution. So I'm internally grateful to Michael for that book, which suddenly opened up this door of inquiry into what before had looked rock solidly real. And it seems to me that once that door is opened by whichever teacher, whichever book, whichever realization we have, the door is open, and from that moment we are on a continuum of exploration into the nature of reality and the nature of self. And if we think of the moment before that realization, that total belief that this is real, I am who I am, thought's got nothing to do with it, it's just this is me, this is them. From there, at one end, one extreme, all the way down to the deep understanding that this whole existence is a dream. And we have to see that as the end point. Once we start looking into thought, there can't be anywhere else that we can get to than that, because even a slight realization that experience is created in thought, or my understanding of those people comes to me or comes towards via thought. Once we start looking at that, once we start looking at this perceptual nature of reality, the only place we can get to is the understanding that all of it is a dream state. All of it is a perception. There is nothing objectively real about any of it. And we might well not be there now. Like, I'm not at all, but we might. But that has to be where we're going. And so the exploration is only about seeing more and more profoundly the perceptual quality of life. And so there is this continuum, and all the different spiritual practices that are pointing us along in that direction. And it just seems to me that there's one major place where the spiritual understanding that we're engaged in can stop, or it can take us right through. And the place where it can stop is in our willingness or ability to inquire into the actual reality of the self. And until we do that, then the self looks real. The self looks to be a true thing, something that still needs to be okay, that needs to find its love and its joy, that needs to somehow be secure, or to find its well-being, or to find its way to the right decision or the right thought that will unlock the best experience or the right outcome. And any spiritual understanding that doesn't question that is taking us to a dead end, really. And because what happens then is that our understanding of the nature of thought, our understanding of the illusory quality of reality, become tools for the self to use in order for it to become a better self. And this is a problem because that self is itself made of thought, and there is no possibility of securing something that is made of thought. So all the spiritual practices, all the understanding, all that great insight starts to take on the role of a tool of securing this idea of who we are. We start trying to use it to have better impact, better decisions, better results, better health, more money. And all of it is just keeping us stuck, more and more stuck and suffering, because we're trying to secure what can never ever be secured. And so we're just going around in circles, really. And the great insights and realizations that we had are like hitting up against a brick wall, because we can't do with them what they're really designed to do. And so this is where it's brilliant. This is where I will, so eternally grateful for the three principal teachers to open up this door and to send us there. And so many quotes from Sid are pointing us all the way right through that idea of self, right through to the understanding that the self itself is a dream. And so what we can do when we're at this stage with the self, and we're trying to use our understanding to be better, to be more secure, to be more stable, at that point, instead of stopping there, we can keep looking. And we can keep using all these great materials from whatever discipline or understanding or teaching that we're looking at, use them to take us through that. It's almost like crossing a river, and these can become the rafts in which we go through to the other side. And we get to the other side by really allowing ourselves to give up this idea of self, to give up this identity and this need to have any sort of better life or better experience or better understanding, or to control what we do, to use our free will to become this great teacher. You know, whatever this self is making of itself, we can give it all up. It's quite huge, and it can be a big wobbly time, really wobbly time, as we realize that everything that we've worked towards all our life was only keeping us more stuck. And so, but as we keep looking, we keep exploring, we can see the logic and the consistency and the inevitability of moving down this road, this path in which all the layers start coming off. We start seeing that all of it is made of thought, that all of it is experience coming in and out. And we start coming more and more to the only truth of who we can be, which is the space in which all of this is appearing. So we are the awareness of our idea of thought, of our idea of self, with the awareness of that, with the awareness of ideas of other people, of circumstances, of experiences. And that shifts the whole focus. So from still being that small self that needed to control and manage, we step back, aware of it all, aware of all experience, all of it shifting and sliding, coming and going, and there is no need to control any of it. We really see the impossibility of having a wiser thought, because all of it is just thought. It's impossible for us to do the thing that will secure that idea of self. It cannot be secured. And so we watch all of it, and in that watching, we step into what we've always been looking for, what we were using these spiritual understandings for in the first place. We were searching for who we really were, who we really are, searching for that peacefulness and freedom and love. And we realize it's there all the time, and the only thing that was ever in the way was this identity, this personalization of it all. As that goes, we have it all. It's all there. We see it. It was always there. But we do have to cross the river. We can never see who we are as long as we are fixated on securing our idea of self. That we need to see through. And there is so many beautiful materials that will help us do that. And so I guess the message of this video really is it doesn't matter what discipline or approach we're looking at. It really matters that we keep going to see as far as we possibly can, even maybe when the book or the teacher or the course stops in a place and we really know there's more to see, when we can go further, because we're interested in, if we're interested in the truth, interested in seeing who we really are, interested in the nature of reality or in thought, it's not possible to stop before we question all of it. And it's in the questioning of all of it that everything is to be found. Everything. So it doesn't matter what we're studying, just keep exploring the whole lot of it. And it's in the dissolving in the dissolving of that idea of what we wanted, of who we thought we were, that everything becomes apparent. So thank you for listening. Lots of love.